So you want to have better habits, I hear. That's great. Before you do that, I want you to ask yourself who you want to be, because that question will give you a better answer than any good habit or good routine. Let's break this down. In this video, I'm going to tell you why habits are difficult to keep and what you can do to help yourself out. For those of you that are new here, welcome. My name's Tyler, and this is the Consistency Compounded Project, and I started it to prove the power of consistent effort and what can happen when you consistently do something for a long period of time. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, hit the notification button twice a week, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. and Saturdays at 8 a.m. Ask yourself, who accomplishes the goal that I want to accomplish? Say, for example, you want to write a book. That would mean you want to be a writer. And if you don't already consider yourself a writer, what do you think you should do? Start writing. The hardest part about this is literally just the first step. As I just mentioned, it's writing. The reason it's difficult to have a habit of writing or to accomplish writing a book is because you don't believe you're a writer. You simply don't have the reps in. You don't have the book yet. You don't have the external proof of what a writer should have, and therefore you don't believe it. That's why it's difficult to keep this habit. So there's also this concept of fake it till you make it. I've tried to practice this sometimes, but I had some trouble and couldn't really explain why it wasn't working for me. I saw this one video from a guy named Alex Hermosi, and he said, the reason this doesn't work long term is because your subconscious knows as you look in the mirror that you're just lying to yourself. And the only reason faking it till you make it will actually be believable is when you're not faking it anymore. But once you do that first step, you've made it. As soon as you start writing, you are officially a writer. Even though you don't have the external object, if you're going for a book, or if you're going for the body, if you're working out towards a goal, or if you don't have the business yet, if you're doing the actions required, you are therefore a business owner. You are therefore somebody that works out. You are a writer. You're there. You accomplished your goal. You just don't have the proof to believe it. And this is where enjoying the process comes in. So if you haven't seen that last video, go check it out. I'll link it somewhere up there or down there. But the hardest time is the first time through. So what you're really doing is, as James Clear puts it, you're casting votes for the person you want to be. And once you get that first book published, once you get some serious progress, visual progress in the gym, once you have your first client, then you start to believe it a little more. You say, oh, maybe I am a business owner. Maybe I do make YouTube videos. I have videos on YouTube, therefore I'm a YouTuber. But until you have these external objects or external proof of success, you just have to believe that what you're doing is the right thing. Habits become easier as they become more normal, as they become more in line with the person you believe yourself to be. One way to feel good about the progress you're making is to judge yourself on a daily basis on whether you did or didn't do something. A small step each day is considered a win for that day. And as long as you string these together, you will have a consistency compounded effect, and it will pay off. Then you look in the mirror and you're not lying to yourself anymore, and you don't have to fake it. You think, yeah, I've kept this habit. I've done this action every day for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Over that time period, you're going to start to believe that you're that type of person. You're going to be that person that writes the book. You're going to be that person that owns the business. It just takes time. But that's why it's difficult. That's why not everybody has a dream life. That's why not everybody accomplishes the things they want to accomplish, because it's not supposed to be easy. It just takes a while most times. And you just have to have some faith. You just have to trust that what you're doing is the right thing. Do the things that the business owner does every day, at least a little bit. Otherwise, there's no reason to believe that you're that type of person. If you didn't do any of the things that type of person does, you don't deserve it. It's pretty straightforward if you think about it like that. It's exactly what consistency compounded is. Just a long time of doing the right things, and then things start to happen. Okay, great. So now you know why it's hard to start and keep habits. But now you're probably thinking, all right, so now what? What do I have to do now? So there's 3 things that will help you keep your habits. And the first one is to make whatever you have to do as easy as possible. With the example of filming YouTube videos, I have 2 things that make it much easier for me. Check it out. There's one hand. Oh. Nipple protector. Check it out. 2 hands free. Because I got a mount to make this easier. No excuses anymore. The other thing is right here, actually. Hold on. This. It's a little tripod. We had it at the house, so it costs no money, yet it has a huge impact on whether I make a video or not, as well as the quality of the video. So those are 2 examples of making it much easier for myself to complete a task, and therefore makes the habit easier to do day after day. The second thing, whatever your new task is, your new habit, give yourself a specific time and place for it. As James Clear says it in the book Atomic Habits, he says we just lack the clarity. So clarify with yourself where you're going to do it and when specifically. For example, with the YouTube videos, I said originally I would post Friday nights at 7 p.m. Why that time? I couldn't tell you, but I knew this concept would work. That was the first time I thought of Friday night, 7 p.m., and I stuck with it. And then I changed it afterward once I had that routine built. Specific time in a specific place, and you're more likely to do it because you know exactly when and where and what you have to do. And the third thing, make a social commitment. I have a deadline now. Wednesday nights, 8 p.m., Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. This social commitment keeps me accountable. If I don't put out a video, I feel silly for it, right? I look like
a failure.
It's not good to say you're gonna do something and then not do it. So tell some people that you're gonna do this, and then you have to do it. The counter to this claim, this argument, is that you work in silence, right? And you have to play with yourself a little bit. You have to find that balance for yourself. What part do you tell? What part do you keep to yourself? Obviously, you can't put everything out online, but if you give yourself a little bit of accountability measure to meet and create an expectation from your peers or strangers, then you're more likely to keep that promise that you made with yourself, but also with the millions of people that can see this message. Make a monetary commitment to it as well. So for example, with the language learning, I bought a subscription for a few months. I have to renew it coming up here pretty soon. But with that monetary commitment, now you have an investment, and you want to see that investment give some return. You can do the same with your habits, using money to force yourself in a way to create return for yourself. And those are 3 examples of helping yourself to keep your new habits, to keep these new routines. Yeah, so I'm at the park now, gonna get a nice workout in, but I hope these tips help. And yeah, just do a little bit every day, and you'd be surprised what can happen over a long period of time. This is the consistency compounded project. If you're new here, check out the first video, which happened on this very bench. Make sure you subscribe to follow along in real time. Let's see what we can do with this thing. We got a long way to go.